Hey, hello everybody. Mr. Mick, Steve. Hold on, I'm trying to get to my YouTube page on here. On the other computer. All right. Hello, Mr. Mick, Steve, and Billy Ray. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Because I can't, well, actually, with just me here. Can you guys hear me? Somebody let me know. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to another Monday night. I did this one a little later because Mad Hatter, because Billy Ray suggested wait till the game was over. So I don't know if it's exactly over yet or not. I wasn't watching it, to be honest with you. But I figured it should be over by a little after 11. My time, Eastern time. So, Peggy, the one and only moderator so far. So tonight I have, I'm going to, where to go? I'm going to take, well, I got two. Let's see. One I'm going to show you that I'm working on. It's one of my own guitars. And if you've been watching Johnny's show for the going on, I'm over 2 years. I'm into my third year with Johnny. And if you've been watching, you know I have a Kramer Farrington. It was all black. And my nephew wanted to learn how to paint, so I let him try. And, well, it's not so good. So anyhow, I'm going to go back to the black on it. And then I'm going to hollow flash it. Because I've never seen a hollow flashed Kramer Farrington acoustic electric. So I'll show you that and what he did to it. And how I have to sand it down and just spray it black. And then go from there. And then the Warrior, depending how long we're on here, I want to swap the neck pickup back to the Dimebucker bridge pickup with the north-south the same as the bridge slug, because that gave that guitar such an awesome sound in the neck position that I've never heard on any other guitar that I own. So I'll be doing that. And then, what else? Oh, I've been working on, no, you know, Mike, I can't, hold on. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I go to add a video clip and I got to upgrade to the paid version. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Add. Wait a minute, it might let me do that here. Hold on. Share a video clip with one example. If you'd like to share your own videos, see what you get by upgrading. So I can't do it yet. So, dang it. I have to, apparently I have to pay for it to that to happen. I get sounds. Okay. And then I can do some kind of crazy. I guess it doesn't work. Well, I don't know. I have no idea about the OBS. I'm lucky to get StreamYard working. Um, so I'll have to work on that. Somehow I'll have to, I'm probably going to have to end up paying for it, but I can't do that right yet. So, but I have, well, Mike, should we tell him what we got going on? Wait, Mike, do you want to join me? I can bring you in here. Oh, he's working. Okay. All right. All right. So, Mike actually came up. Mike actually came up with a good idea because it's hard when, I don't have all the guitars here and I don't have room for them here. However many there are now, lots, triple digits. Well, I did sell some over the past few years when I needed to. So I don't even know how many. But anyhow, the ones I have here are the ones I use all the time. And once they're set up or changed, then they're good to go. So I'm running out of things to do. And the bad part about that is usually I have somebody's guitar or somebody's future guitar, meaning my pay it forward in music thing where I get an old guitar and fix it up and give it to somebody, or bring in someone's old guitar and fix it up for them, and all that's free with donated parts. Unfortunately, right now, I am at the bottom of the barrel with parts. So there's not a lot I can do until I get some more, and I can't afford to go buy them anymore. I used to, when I was working, I would go to the pawn shop and buy, 2 or 3 old guitars, and then I would order the parts, build them, and give them out. Since I was forced to retire medically, I can't afford to do that anymore. So I've been relying on you guys for donated parts. And from the past, I take pretty much anything. Well, the ones I got big shipments last year, did a lot of repairs, gave, I don't know what, 4 or 5 guitars away last year. And now my parts are very minimal. And I don't have a lot of parts to work with, and I haven't gotten any sent in by anybody recently. So I'm kind of stuck. With that in mind, Mike came up with a great idea. We're going to do, Mike's going to be the show producer, and what this is going to turn into is a Fretworks, basically guitar repair channel. And his idea, which I think is a great one, is to find other people who repair guitars, or other YouTube channels that repair guitars, and actually, like if I don't have anything to work on, I schedule someone and they can show us how they do stuff from their bench, that kind of deal. So do you guys think that would be a good idea? I think it would be. And like I said, Mike gets the credit for it. He came up with it. And Mike, what was you saying about like a co-host, etc.? Explain. He can explain it to you. He's right there. But it's like, like I've said, I am not the end all of end all repairs. I don't know everything. I mean, 40 some years. So, I know a lot. But there's other people who achieve results doing it different ways and thinking it would be cool to see how other people also do it if they want to. I mean, some people's going to say, "Oh, I don't want to show how I fix this." That's fine. So being live chatting with them. So that's where we're going to go with this. And I still want to do Johnny's shows because again, they're different than what this is going to be. This is just strictly going to be a educational learning type thing. And once I learn how to do the polls and questions and stuff like that, we'll have, whoever's here. I know the one guy I would like to get probably first would be the guy from Canada, Dave. Have him on here. I've never talked to him before, but kind of get this going and get a hold of him, send him an email, and see if he can get on here one night and kind of show us what he's doing. So, something like that. I think it's a great idea, and I thank Mike for coming up with it. And then, this will be just on Monday nights, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on Johnny's, and Thursdays on Laz. So, I think we'll do it that way. Well, Mad Hatter there. Even you guys in the chat, have you on showing what you've done to your guitars and how you did it and why you did it, but you have to be prepared to answer questions from other chatters. All right. So, got Mike. So Mike's a producer. Peggy is the moderator, and she is like the she's got the band hammer of ability. So so if someone comes in and starts, saying wrong things, Peggy has permission and authority to take them out of the chat. So well, I don't know about that, Mike. We'll see. I mean, you're the producer and she's the moderator, so you guys work it out. All right, but also the one thing I am working on right now is I told you how I have these to test the power of your pickups. I made one, finished it, and I'm in the process of doing one right now. So we'll get that first. That's right. Billy's the enforcer. So we'll get over there. Yeah, Matt. I mean, I did it. I studied under one for about two years, maybe a little more. Not continuously, but over a 2-year period. So there's, like I said, there's not that much that I can't do. I'm not afraid to try anything, but I'll never lie to you guys. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Because I don't want me to tell you something and you guys do on your guitar and it ruins something. Then it's my fault. I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help everybody. Like I said, through the music thing with the parts donations and guitar donations, I'm getting instruments to people who can't afford them but want to learn, or they have an instrument but can't afford to get it fixed or the parts. Because when I do that stuff, there's no charge. I don't charge for any of that because the parts are free. Everything. If I have guitar, Barry Rich, Greasy Monkey, MPN, all those guys have donated guitars for this cause. So I've done that and given them away. parts wise, the same thing. So there's no, if I don't have any money in the parts, nothing in the guitars, there's no charge. The only thing I charge for really is if I have a customer's guitar and I got to do like a routing to put a Floyd in or paint job. That's it. But that's for a different. That's not for this program, unless that's what they want. So I think that makes sense. So let me switch cameras over to the other one, and we'll go from there. All right. So, but yeah, you guys in the chat are more welcome to come on. Let me switch the camera. I'm still really, really new at this StreamYard thing. Okay. There we go. All right, hold on. I have to put the chat on this phone. I don't even need the headphones because I'm the only one on here. Hold on. That's the one kind of neat thing about all this. So I hear you guys can hear me. Yes, we do, Mike. So, yeah, I mean, I have no idea how to do the technology stuff. Not anymore. I kept up with it into the 90s, actually into the 2000s. Then I just, like, okay, whatever. So this one is done. And hold that in place. What I'm doing is I'm taking these, cutting the eliminate these and installing this instead. So all you have to do is turn this on the ohms. Usually it's 20K, and you can read your pickups. Now, like the slug where it's over, I have to go up to the 2000 or 200. I mean, sorry, 200. But I 3D printed the holder. You can see the angle it's on. Okay. So all you do, let me grab a guitar, we'll show you. All you have to do this is one of my custom MJ ones. That is a Pegasus that MJ made for me. So all you gotta do, take this out. All right. Put it where you, let me do it this way so you can see it. Plug it in. Turn your volume down. Flip it on. Now watch. So this is putting out 1241, 1242. Fourth position. Middle position. Or first, second, third, fourth position. Then just the neck. But what this also does, what's great about this, is if you have a problem somewhere and you want to do a quick check, like, okay, all right, we're working here, and say that's not working. This one is. So it'll tell you, where the problem is when you take the back tar off. There you go. Peggy, you got one, right? You won one. So you didn't get the base because I didn't have the 3D printer at that time. So what I'm going to do is start selling these with the base. Love this one. This is my Slimer green. Again, custom MJ designed. I ordered it and I actually waited an extra 4 or 6 weeks so I could get her to build it. All right, hold on, Steve. I'll show you. Actually, Steve, one of the best ones out there. I have. I was using the regular StewMac ones, and then I ended up buying StewMac Mini. It's the 300 grit one. There's a 150 and a 300. So it's a Z file, the original Z file. They just basically took the handle off and put this rubber coating on it, which you can take off. And I was using this, and then Music Nomad. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. I can't get it out. Right there. The S file. So this one is where this one, it's got the diamond coating all the way around the groove. This one does not have it in this very minimal dead center. So it will actually shape the fret and not take, it'll get that line, you can get that line super thin on here. And then to polish them, I use my that's wide. I have narrow, medium, wide, and extra wide. This came about from the Fretzler, because the Fretzler you had to hold the paper, put the rubber band on. Then when you was done, you had to like push the paper up past it and make sure the rubber band was locked. So this, you just roll the paper up, put it through here, and then use it like that. And then when you're done, just turn it to a new sheet, a new part. So, and if anybody, and this still stands, Mr. Mick knows this. If anybody wants to buy a spool of filament anywhere from $13 to $20 for my printer, I'll make you a complete tool set. Yeah, the S file, Steve, it's better. So, and then like this is Billy Ray's. I'm making the other extra wide, the narrow, and the medium right now. It's on the printer. Matter of fact, I'll show you a photo. Here, Billy. Here's your other three that are being printed as you're watching this show. There you go. Back. Yeah, that S file. It's it's not expensive. It's not as expensive as the StuMac, and they both have lifetime warranty. And the S file is actually easier to use and does it quicker and gives you a better straight line on top. So I would definitely recommend the S file. And Mad, wait. Oh, it's over there. I have your I made you one. It's like a yellow greenish color. It's not just that funky color. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I know StuMac does, and I'm pretty sure that that Nomad has it on that file too. So yeah, they're it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's definitely I love that file. So much nicer and easier. And then if you end up using these things, you no longer need to use these or polish or Dremel and pad and get it all over you. None of that. Don't need any of that. These actually fit the slot or the fret and I'm getting fabulous. Well, Mr. Mick, if he's still here, he sent me a spool filament and I made him a complete set, and he said his frets have never been that shiny and smooth. So it's something to think about. Yeah, this I think I don't remember now because I got it when it first came out, but I think I paid like 130 for that. I don't know what they are now. The other Z files I got rid of because they're basically, well, I mean, they're not worthless, but why make it harder on you? Plus, they were old. I had them for years. So, this. I use a lot of shrink wrap because it helps maintain the integrity here at the end. Also, I've put changed the mat out. So, I don't know where we'll be using this. I had this one new in the holder, and then for Christmas I ended up getting two more. So I thought, okay, I'll just go ahead and change that one because the other one, see, has seen its share of use and damage. But most of that is from sanding, which I'm not going to do on this bench anymore. So I'll be throwing this one away. But any soldering will be done on this. So, yeah, there's a lot of tools. And again, I understand when people get the very cheap stuff off of Amazon, because, well, I didn't get it off of Amazon, but I remember getting cheaper stuff because it was all I can afford. Let me put this right here so I can read it while I'm doing it. Oh, how much for the set of tools? You buy me a spool, the whatever, $12 to $20 spool, whatever color you want, or pick it on Amazon. You can PayPal me the money for it, and I'll order it, and then nothing for the tools. Just pay shipping back, and it's only $5 or $6. I don't do this to make. I don't do this to make money. Let's put it that way. Just two things. It'd be almost impossible for what you'd have to charge to actually make money off of it. So, like I said, I usually do it just to try to help. Probably going to have. You know, I'm trying to help people be able to work on those work on their guitars. You need to be able to know how to do that. Here I go. Putting the cart before the horse. This one out of the way. So as you can see, I'm finishing this one, and I still got two more, but I got to buy a couple more. Yeah, I mean, you can buy the cheap stuff, and if you're only going to use it just a few times, you're okay. But, you know, where I'm doing it all the time and trying to do it even more, buy the quality stuff. It's kind of like that buy once, cry once deal. Well, Mr. Mick, are you still here? Mr. Mick's still here. He, like I said, he actually got the full set, and it cost him. I think he got the black filament on sale for like $13. So he got the black $13 for the filament. I made the tools and then shipped them to him. So, you know, it's not like I said, I'm not in it to make what I would have to charge. What you'd end up, you know, it would be ridiculous. Plus, that kind of defeats my purpose. My purpose is to show you how to do this. So to save you money, that's the whole thing I'm looking for. Just to help you. I mean, that's everything I've been through. I really think that's why I'm here. because that's just what I wanted to do. I want to help people be able to help themselves. You shouldn't have to, and this is where a lot of luthiers are going to get upset with me because hey, that's our money, blah blah blah, and I understand that. But if you're a guitar player and you mean any, you're trying to be a serious guitar player, so I look at it as you should be able to maybe I don't mean completely rebuild your guitar unless you want to, but you ought to be able to set up Floyd or or solder in a switch or something like that, whatever it takes. Just something that simple. Just a quick fix, like especially like if you're at a show. You're at a show and something happens, and there's not someone able to fix it. What are you going to do? So that was my whole point. At least be able to do the basic stuff. Fix a broken wire. You got wire that's bad, and people's like, I don't want to carry a soldering iron with me, whatever. I understand that. You don't want to take a whole set with you. Wait a minute, I'll show you here in a second. But if something happens, you should be able to fix it yourself. Come on, get off. Right pliers for this. So, yeah, you should be able to, do a quick repair to get yourself going. And there's nothing. Yeah, if you need something, like your headstock cracked or something like that, then that's something else. But like if your jack comes undone, and if you use a pure tone, hey, pure tone is the way. I mean, I put pure tones in everything. I've been using them since they came out. I do. I put pure tones in everything because I honestly believe that is the best jack you can put in a guitar. I honestly believe that. I'm not just saying it. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not sponsored by them. I have nothing to do with them other than the fact they are excellent for what they are. Long still. So I know even when I said something to Johnny when I first started talking about him, I don't know if he'd ever used one before or not. I do. I put him on everything. Every now and then I can get them, come across them at a good price. So when you do, I always try to buy at least 4 at a time. Yeah, stick it there. bad. Put that through there and try to figure out why it's still not working. Short it out against each other. But yeah, it's pure tones are great. But if you're at a show and something happens and there's no one there to fix it, I truly believe if you're playing guitar, you should know how to at least do basic stuff. There's nothing, just good, just a good practice. It's a good practice to be able to do it, and to me, the biggest one is the Floyd Rose. I'm still amazed at how many people have a Floyd Rose and have no idea how to set it up properly, or they're afraid to touch it for whatever reason. And I admit they can be finicky, especially at first. But once you get it going, after you do a few of them, they're once you do a few of them, it's like nothing. And there is a learning curve on them. I admit that. I'm not going to say they're perfect, but once you get it set up and you break a string, yeah, it'll go out of tune. It will, but you'll be able to confidently change that string. That's not going to be an issue for you. This is the fun part. I got to fold this over, get that under there. The first ones I did, I kind of drilled that hole out bigger and it didn't work. Look at this. I'm trying to do this and watch the chat at the same time. Forgive me if I don't answer you in a minute. Nope. Heat this up. Yeah, but I totally understand, buying the cheaper, especially with Amazon, the cheaper stuff to at least get you started and get it figured out. I understand that. And if you only have to work on your guitars a few times, or as long as it's not an everyday deal, they'll last for a little bit. Now, are they the quality of the StewMac or the uh, Music Nomad? No. But will they work, in a pinch? Yes. So again, it just, depends on what you want to spend and how deep you're going to get into it. The reason I do this, like I said before, is to reinforce all this. On too soon. Should have let it cool down first. Maybe. But yeah, like Dane, I've been watching Dane's channels probably since he started because I like the fact he did. It was a good idea. When he was doing a little bit more than just the string changes. Again, it's like we're helping people, and that's cool. We should help. Okay, so now we do this. I mean, if everybody would end up helping each other, make life a little bit easier, better for everybody. For some reason, how is it? So that's my whole point. Was like I said, I've told the story before when we were in the band and we had a gentleman that provided money to get stuff we needed. Didn't want the money back, even when we made it somewhat and started making good money. He didn't want anything back. He didn't want none of it. All he told me to do was just to pay it forward. And I said, "What do you mean pay it forward?" He said, "Whenever you can help anybody learn music or keep their music going, just do that." He said, "That'll make me happy." Now, I'm sure that guy's probably passed on by now because that was 80, middle 80s, 86ish maybe. He was probably in his late 40s then. So, but never asked for a dime of it back, and we're talking thousands of dollars. Even paid for part of the studio time for our own demo that we. So that was the whole thing. It was, pay it forward, man. Get music in the hands of people. Help them. They can't do it. Help them do it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Voila. Have one for this one. Comment in the bottom. Right here. I don't have a red stand yet. Another one. I have a white one. I gotta make some more. Gotta draw this out. But yeah. So that's how I make these. See, I got nothing to hide. I'm showing you how I do it right there. Like I said, if I don't know, I'm not going to guess or make something up. I'm going to tell you I don't know, and we'll figure it out together. That's how you help. Back here. This was used for all my gun stuff, as you can tell. So, two of them. These will be for sale. Thank you, man. Yeah, I try. And again, I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. I'd hate to know it all, actually. Imagine what that life would be. Now, here's something else I want to show you guys. This is the Kramer Beretta 1988 Beretta Special. I got to do print work on it. There's the neck. Basically, it's an electric guitar neck on an acoustic guitar. This is an actual 88. Our bass player bought this new in 1988. He used it for a song he wrote called "Broken Hearts, Broken Roads." And then when we were playing cover tunes, we ended up just all originals. But when we were doing cover tunes, we would do "Knocking on Heaven's Door" and "Patience." So he would play it for Patience. This is the guitar. My nephew did the yellow, and he needs to really learn how to mask. So I got to take all that off. He's one of the ones that you can't tell him. Kind of like tell him, and he's halfway through. You tell him what to do, he knows. So I said, okay, because I knew I could repaint it myself if I had to. This is all factory. Good night, Steve. Or are you leaving? Oh, 9. Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah, this, I'm going to put this back in black. AC/DC, which I don't care for that much. But, and then I'm going to hollow flash it. And it will be my hollow flashed Kramer 1988 Kramer Beretta. So, yeah. How dare I what? It's going to be all. I'm going to do all. I'm going to do the gold and black, or gold and silver. And then what I did, and I didn't finish it. The original neck plate is still here, right here. I'll show you in a minute. It was all black. So what I thought I would do, I haven't buffed it out yet, but I sanded some of it down to get the, and what it did, obviously they put like a copper on when they chrome them. So I went into the black, or, the chrome, and then to the copper. And I'm debating whether or not to keep going and get it just all shiny or leave the little copper on it, because that's more or less going to match the hollow flash, kind of. So yeah, this is a USA Neptune, New Jersey, 1988. He bought it brand new, and then he come by here one day years later, and he's like, "Hey," he said, "I got something for you," and he handed it to me. So I'm going to work on that. It's had. I'll pop this off, sand it all down, and stain it basically, and then put True Oil on it. Kind of smooth it up and make it look nice. This will be black, just the hollow flash all over it, kind of like Johnny's Kramer Beretta I did for him. Have to get the yellow off here. He got overspray out here, which that'll come off. A little bit of mineral spirits, but Still has the original pickup, which is actually right there in the bridge. And if I can reach it and move it or not. Kind of. See it in there? Yeah. So, yeah, I still have the I have them somewhere in a container. I just saw them. I have the original Kramer tuners for it. Everything. Yeah. Then, clean the back of it off. Then you'll have sand that down and buff it out. Oh, there's the. Yeah. So it's a project, and although tomorrow here with the wind chill, it's supposed to be minus 15. Regular temperature like 1. But where I don't have to where this is getting covered up with hollow flash, I have a utility room over there. I'm thinking I can just rough this up, spray it real quick. It's just a spray can, black, in there, and that would be good to go. I don't have to worry about the temperature out in the garage, which I've been working on the garage now since last Thursday. My mother sold my father's 68 Mustang out of there, which freed up some room. So I've been working in there and building shelves and cleaning. Made a whole new work area because it's a 3.5 car garage. And I made a whole new work area where the Mustang was all by itself. And I should be able to add, even if it's tent style paint booth, which I do have, I should be able to do that. So, I love this guitar. Really love this guitar. So, I'm going to take wait. Let me make sure I still have it. I didn't put in something else. I've done that before too. There it is. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, the slug. This is the Seymour Duncan slug, and this is like super. Where you saw the other guitar up here, it was at 12, I think, or 14 was the output on it. This one, here's the output on this one. 43.9. So I had to go up to 200K because that's obviously above 20. So we got 43, whatever, 44, say. Then in the middle, you got 6.4. Then the neck is 7.4. This I can't remember, it's either 13 or 16. So it won't be that big of a difference, the volume wise. But the only problem is, if you look on this, these were straight like this one is. And when I went to put these on, I had to take a sander on a Dremel tool and sand those out so that'll fit. And this has its own special ring that comes with it because it's rounded like that too, and they're kind of solid on the ends. Not it's a cloth. So I'm going to have to do the same thing for that. Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, watch. If I flip this on just 20, let me flip it over here. Okay, there we go. 43.9. So I flip it down to 20, it won't read anything. It's all not enough. Like I flip it up on 200. So when you do these, it'll have a 0 in front of it because you don't need that many. That's 6.4 and that's 7. I'm telling you, that slug pickup kicks serious. And what I did is I had it in a 500K pot hooked up to it. And I went ahead and put a 1 meg pot in it. So, yeah. That made a big difference. So to put this in there, I either got to use that ring. But I can do that for now. Put this ring on it for now. And I'll do this tomorrow. The Screaming Demon is only about a 10 or 11. So correctly to do this, it would be this way. Plus this is a bridge pickup. But I put it in this way, and the sound it gave me with both of them together in the middle position and then the neck pickup, I have not been able to duplicate with anything else. So I want that back. So I'm going to put that in there. Billy, here's some of your tools over here. Here's your knob puller. Slide that over and slide that down like that. There you go. So, wait, let me shut this heater off. Yeah, Lewis. But from 43 to 7, where this is at least double that. Plus putting the magnets the same way, it's kind of, it just gave it a different sound. So let me take this off. Yeah, let me take this off. And for those of you that want to argue and say these should be straight, the original patent for Floyd Rose shows them this way. Tight. Dime bag. Back. Always a fear of these things are going to go flying. There's that. I didn't touch anything. When I put this back in there, it'll be in tune. That's what's crazy. That's when you know you got your Floyd Rose set up right. I've done that on here before, and I've had people say, "Oh, you had some kind of wedge or something in there." As you can see, it just came out. There's nothing in there. I love this guitar, and they're so comfortable to sit and play. Unlike the V, where you got to have your leg here, and that puts the guitar in an unnatural position when you're sitting. This is perfect. This is where I usually have music playing in the background when I'm doing this. I sit here till 4 or 5 in the morning. Oh, I did order. I'm experimenting. I ordered a custom set of D'Addario strings. It was $15 for one set, but I picked the gauges and stuff, and they're it's on the other computer. Um, but it's like if you know what? Wait, it might be. Let me look. No, Mike, I'm not monetized. Good point. Hold on. Let me find this. Check email. I have a playlist that is there. Hold on. They sent me an email saying they ship tomorrow, ready to ship the 21st or Tuesday, Wednesday. Custom strings. Show them. Open up. Dang it. Let me see what they are. It won't let me open it. They were $15.30 for one set. You're right, Mike. You know what I could do? I'm not monetized. You're right there. I have to go back and forth. Don't care. I can just play my own music. I'll stop disconnecting. Oh, wait. It won't let me do it and play YouTube. Or Turn on YouTube. No, that won't work. Well, hold on, guys. Let that play for a minute.
The state lights burn like 1,000 suns. Guitar screams loud, but the heart weighs a ton.
This is about being on the road and everything you miss.
But the soul feels bare. Another town lost in a highway's glare. Crowd runs wild, but the silence remains in every hotel. In the echoes of pain, letters unread, photographs fade, promises broken, the price.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what? If I put the headphones on, I think. Hold on. Let me check. Let me turn it down a little bit. There you go. Okay, there we go. Kevin sounds good for 57. Well, where's my crap? I can't tell which one's which. See, I can't see the chat right now with this plan. Let me. This is quickly becoming one of my favorites. It's the One Night Eternal. Well, check. And by the way, this is part of the reason why I quit dating blondes and went only dark-haired girls. My wife had dark brown hair. Alright, I'll shut this off when the song's over, so I can go back to the chat, because right now I can't see anything you guys are saying. Okay, now let me get back. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Let me turn that mic a little bit. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions and or ideas? I have to get another new mic. I have the old 57. This is one of the vocal 57s, the B, but obviously it's got a short in it somewhere. Should I just go ahead and see? No, I didn't see any of the chat the whole time those two songs were playing. Because if I clicked back into YouTube, it would shut the music off. Headphones off for now. Yeah, there it is, man. Seymour Duncan, Slug Bridge. Freaking awesome. explain my day. They just don't do anything for me, Mike. That's all. I mean, it's I don't know. They just don't do anything for me. I'm not saying they're bad because they're not. It's just not for me. That's all. No if ands or I know these are going in on a little bit of an angle. That's because of these holes. But when they go down, they do sit flush. That's okay because it is my guitar. So. Actually, I love this guitar. And the funny part is, I didn't like the Warrior before I got it. If that makes sense. What do you mean I'm too young, Holly? I'm 60. I'm going to be 61 in 2 months. They just weren't for me. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I know the hits and all that, but it just, matter of fact, when we did cover tunes, we used to play Hell's Bells and what's a whole lot of Rosie. Oh, there you go, man. An old. So I am to change the subject here. I am looking forward to Johnny and Laz and those guys at the NAM show. Because in all honesty, Johnny really does give you the best coverage. He really does. All right, let me put this back in. Tip number one, make sure it's turned around right. So as you can see, there's no blocks. I didn't do anything special. Back on there. That. Flip over and put these back on it. Yeah, I wish I could be there too, Peggy, but like I said, the last almost 6 years with everything that happened to my father and all that stuff, because we ended up paying for everything, the nursing home, the in-house, everything. So I just don't have the money to do it. Wish I did. All right, springs are in. I didn't do anything else to it. Let's see if it's still in tune. I'm hoping it is. There you go. Yeah, we had, his, well, it was bad. And the bad part about all of it is years ago, when I started working with him at International Harvester, or then it turned into Navistar, um, every time someone we worked with or someone we knew got in that situation where it was, basically life support, he always said, don't you dare let me live like that. He said, you pull the plug yourself if you have to. And I always laughed. Made me promise him that. And because my mother was still here, my sister and I didn't get to make the decision, which we should have. Saved 5 years of hassle. And what it did is it aged my mother like 10 extra years quick. Why did I? Wrong one. It aged. Yeah, see, I wasn't thinking, talking, and not paying attention here. But yeah, it aged her a lot more than she needs to be. And it was a financial, everything he had worked his whole life for. I think he always figured, I don't know. She had been with him since her junior year in high school. And he was all she knew. And he always handled everything. She didn't know any of the bill, none of that stuff. And she refused to let them just make him comfortable and do what they wanted to do. And she refused to do it, which I understand that. I don't know if I could do it, with my wife. But it was just way too much stress on my mother. Then he would, if he knew that he would throw a fit. He would be throwing a fit right now. But it made me feel bad. It's not like I wanted to obviously I'd rather have my dad with me. He made me promise that. And then in turn, I didn't do what he made me promise to do because I couldn't. Unless the doctor said if she would say she don't want to make the decision, that would have went to me and my sister. I'm the older. She's 4 years younger. And but she wouldn't even say that. She just kept, I don't want to be without you. I can't do this without you. I've never been without you, that whole thing. And I understand. I do understand that because she was scared. But what made me mad is, he, in all this time, suffered. So for almost 6 years, he was bedridden. He went from, he was 270 pounds. He wasn't fat. When he died, he was 130. and he was skin and bones. His legs were no, I mean, he was his thighs was no bigger than my forearm. He just he didn't want to live that way, but there's nothing I could do. I just hope he forgives me. Yeah, but she had, since she was the wife, and she got to put solder on. So for all this time, for basically 6 years, this is what I've been going through, and it's, I haven't had the money to do any of that stuff. Now it's after all this time. Now I got to kind of build it back up. And it's going to take time to do that. But and again, that's, like I said about keeping this stuff going. It's just I just don't have the money now to go to NAM or even to buy the parts I need to help other people. That's why I rely on you guys with donations. It helps me again. And that's and I don't feel bad about it because my dad loved the fact that I did that. Because I gave my word to that guy, wow, 40 years ago, that I would continue to do that, and that's what I would do is pay it back. Pay it forward, I mean. And that's what made my dad happy, You give your word, you keep your word. That's simple. That made him proud as can be because, I could have just said, okay, yeah, thanks for putting up all the money and thanks for not wanting anything back, and then just left it at that. But I gave my word that I would continuously people who need help with musical instruments or either, like I said, don't have one or doesn't have the parts or the money to get one fixed. That's what I do. I just fix it for them. And maybe someday down the road, it doesn't have to happen, but it would be cool if it did. I'd be lying if I said it wouldn't be cool. But maybe the next Randy Rhoads or Eddie Van Halen might happen because, hey, some guy on this Fretworks channel fixed me a guitar and got me started, and I turned into this. I'm not looking for that, but it would be cool. What gets me is, when you give, especially the kids, when you give them, fix the guitar or give them a guitar that's set up in the Floyd Rose, if they want a Floyd Rose. Everybody's like, well, don't give them a Floyd Rose because they don't know it. Well, you got to start somewhere, right? You're at some point in time, you're going to get your first Floyd Rose. So at least I know when I give them a guitar, it's got a Floyd Rose. It's set up right. They won't have to worry about going out of tune and get frustrated and not want to play it. Because believe me, I've seen that and I know what that's like. So I've been working on Floyd Roses now for 41 years, since they came out. Or since they came out to the public, I should say. So it was 84, 85. And, the other night, Saturday night with Adam in the chat, I'm going to end up custom painting a guitar for FU Tone, which is cool. But I also want to talk, once I have Adam on the phone, and he's only over in Pennsylvania, maybe we meet. I have an idea I've had for years for a Floyd Rose, and I made one, and it works perfect. I don't own a machine shop. So, oh, wait. Mad Hatter, here's your tremblock. It's like a burnt green, olive green, goldish color. Thought it was on the other side. It was right here. So I will be sending this to you this week. So yeah, I mean, and that's what made my dad proud, is because being Italian, respect is a big, 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 big part of the Italian culture. You don't give your word, then back out of it and not worry about it. You just don't do that. And I've Johnny and I've had talks like this too about other people he's had on the show and how they stabbed him in the back and turned on him. I don't know why they would do that. I have no idea, and I'm not them, so I can't sit there and tell you, oh, this is why. But and he doesn't. Now tomorrow I'll work on that. We'll round those 4 spots out so I can put it on here, because that bothers me. It's the OCD. But I can't take this one out here though. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that, and I don't understand. Because he's told me many times that I'll turn my back on him and stab him in the back, and I'll rage quit the show too. And I keep telling him, apparently you've never met anybody like me. Because I'm not going to, if he wants me off the show, that's fine. It's his show. Just tell me. I'm not going to sit here and then rage quit the show and then do my own show where I'm knocking him all the time. I don't do that either. You don't do that to people. And he's never really done anything to me. And because of him, because of Uncle Raymond, but me talking to Johnny about doing the Randy Rhoads show that one time, I kind of said, we need to do this, let's do this, but I didn't want to tell him, it's his show. I'm not. I guess that's one thing the other guys tried to do. They tried to run his show apparently, and he didn't like that, and I don't blame him. So I was always kind of cautious of hey, let's do this, let's do that, because I didn't want him to think that's what I was trying to do. But I did talk about doing that one Randy Rhoads show a couple years ago, and we did it. And because we did that show, I am now friends with Bob Daisley, one of my heroes. I mean, the guy actually sat in the room with Randy Rhoads and Lee Kerslick, and then also Jake E. Lee and Zach Wilde, and wrote these songs and played on them, and was in the videos even. And Randy's gone. I'll never get a chance to meet him. Ozzy's gone. Dimebag's gone. So really the only one of my heroes, there's only 2 left, and it's like George Lynch, Bob Daisley. So through Johnny's show, I was able, literally, I have Bob's personal email address. We email each other all the time. Got a Christmas thing from him. So, in New Year's, and it's just, and that's what I told Johnny. I said, I'm respect that this happened, and you let it happen. Through Raymond and Amanda, And I guess when we were doing the show, from what I understand, Amanda wasn't home in tune. And I guess she said Raymond was texting her saying, "Hey, these guys are talking about Randy Rose." And then she ended up checking out the show. And then she got a hold of Johnny and said, because I kept saying, but I would love to be able to talk to Bob. It's weird how things like that go around. And I don't forget that kind of stuff. You know? Because if Johnny would have said, "Hey, we're not doing a Randy Rhoads show," then this never would have happened. But I respect the fact that we were able to talk about it, and he didn't just shut me down because of past, well, I don't know, guest or host, whatever the hell they were. He actually gave me a shot. But I keep telling him, he every now and then, still to this day, he'll say, "Oh, you're gonna turn your back on me and stab me in the back," like, and the reason I'm doing this show right now, matter of fact, is I never had any intentions of doing this ever. And then I was watching YouTube one night, and Johnny was on there with the guy from Oklahoma, and he said, "Hey, you got pictures of your guitars? You want to send them in? Send them in." So I did. But and then through that, I got beyond the following couple of days later, or the next day, whatever. He had me on the show as a guest, talking about all these guitars, and then it just went from there. Oh, I know, Mike. I know he has been. I know he has been. Um, I know he's been burnt bad. I understand that. So, but I heard how well when he said when he once made me an official co-host. I didn't have all this stuff, so he was telling me how those guys wouldn't buy headphones, wouldn't upgrade their equipment. They just use a laptop camera and etc. One guy, I don't even know who he was talking about, but I guess used a flashlight for the light on him while he was doing the videos or show. I never went back and watched those. He's told me many times to go do it, and I don't even want to get in that mess. But so I thought, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to show you that I'm serious. So I went out and spent about $3,000 on all this stuff to prove to him that, hey, I'm serious about this. And I hope that's what he realized, and not thought, oh, okay, so now he's getting ready so he can, do his own thing. I mean, I know I'm doing this now, but this is different than what he's doing. So I don't want to step on his toes. And again, I'm very respectful and grateful for him having me on the show, and I hope he continues to leave me on the show. But I don't even know how else to say, but through us doing that Randy Rhoads show, I'm now friends with Bob Daisley, and also to the point where I can't say anything yet. I can't say anything yet, but you guys might, it will be a dream come true for me, or as close as one could be. So let me switch back to the other mic in the other table, and I'll be right back with you guys. That way you won't hear that after this one. I need to get another one of these studio mics. Okay, so I'm here. Make this, I guess I can't. Okay, so thank you, Matt. Yeah, so now I can see you guys really good. And this mic should sound better. This Peg or Holly, the mic that was over there making all that noise, that was the orange one. This is the other one, the new one. Jeff Goebel. I don't know the name. So, yeah, so that that's what I'm saying. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and you don't treat people like that, especially if there's no reason to. Um, and that's how I was raised. I mean, I've told this before, but I'll make it quick. My dad, when I was little, from the time I was born, actually, um, he had two body shops that he had. Plus, he worked afternoon shift for International Harvester. And so I never saw him. And that's how I learned how to work on, get cars and paint cars and everything. Because, when I was little, he was always at the body shops. And then he would go from there straight to Navistar, and he wouldn't be home till 11:30 at night. So for a lot of that time, I stayed with my grandparents, his mom and dad. His mom was from a little place outside of Rome. She moved to this country. His dad was half Italian and half Serbian. So, but he was, it was, we used to cut wood every summer for the winter because we got wood burners here. And so, and my grandfather, if you were a half hour early, you were, in his eyes, you were 15 minutes late. When he worked, he was there an hour or even more before his shift to make sure everything was running, and before he even took over. So we were cutting wood. Was supposed to meet him at cutting wood. Not you, Mike Wood, but I showed up. I was about 10 minutes late, 15, whatever. I was late, actually late. And he's like, he just looked at his watch and looked at me. And I said, I know, hold on. And then I pulled out the chainsaw. I said, what had happened, I'd stopped and bought it at a hardware store. And he goes, can I see that? And I said, sure. So I handed it to him. And he reaches in his pocket and he had a pair of pliers, and he takes a spark plug out. And I'm thinking, it's brand new. He chucks the spark plug over in the woods over the hill. No idea where it went. I just looked at him. He hands me back the chainsaw. I stuck it down in the bed of the truck again. I looked at him. He hands me an axe. Says, you're going to do a man's job. You do it like a man. That's how I was raised. That's how my dad was raised. And then my Uncle Green, his real name was Green, Mancini. He was 100% from Sicily. They all came over here in 1921 or 22, like that. They came over and went through Ellis Island and, all the legal things, everything. And so I was just raised that way. And I didn't know it. To me, that was normal. And Johnny was telling me what these guys did to him. I'm like, it was like, a person's your friend until they prove you wrong, but they got to prove you wrong twice. That's something like that my grandfather used to say all the time. So, it's just, that's how I was raised. And I told Johnny, I said, well, apparently you've never met anybody like me because I don't do crap like that. There's especially for no reason. And that's why I ended up getting a lot of this stuff which worked out in the long run because I was able to complete the songs now finally. But I did this to prove to him that I was serious, and I was hoping he wasn't thinking, oh look, now he's got everything and he's going to do his own thing. Which like I said, this is now my third year with him. So I'm trying to follow the chat here. Cutting who? Yeah, I can say it now because my Uncle Green has passed away. He was in the mob from Youngstown, Ohio to Canton, Ohio. He ran that area. Hold on, I'll show you his picture. Again, he was 100% Sicilian. Came from Sicily, wasn't born here, was born there. But does anybody watch the movie Johnny Dangerously? It was in the 80s. Okay. You remember Joe Piscopo in that movie? I swear to God, they put Joe Piscopo character modeled after my Uncle Green Mancini, and here he is. This was my grandmother and her family when they came here. She said this was like a week after they arrived because my great grandfather is the one sitting here. He wanted to get a family portrait done of them in New America. My grandmother is over here on the end. On the, well, if you're looking at it, she's over here. Right there on the end. Yeah, that's my dad's mom. And that was my grandmother's maiden name right here. And this is her. The guy you just saw sitting down and the wife next to him is my great grandmother and grandfather. And it was Silvetti, Centimio, and Ernesta. And then my Uncle Green, this is me, my Uncle Green, and my Aunt Collie. Her name was actually Collie. This is 1980. This was now. But come on, focus in. Oh, come on, dang it. Hold on. Let me move this mic. So yeah, that's me standing with them both. He had, you can't tell it, but that's a pinstripe suit. He's got the little mustache still. I mean, any mob movie you look at, it's what, you know. Now here is my grandfather's sitting down. And then Uncle Green is in the hat, and my other uncles are here, and my dad's in the red. And, people like, oh, the Sopranos. Well, that's Uncle Green in the blue shirt. That's my dad in the red. My grandfather sitting down, my Uncle Eli right there. And Peggy, I think you read about the mosquito bowl. That's Uncle Eli right there on the edge in the light blue shirt. Uncle Green had part of his finger missing. And I used to ask him, what happened. He always said, you don't want to know. And this is him and my grandmother. They were at McKinley's grave. But I'm telling you, they modeled Joe Piscopo after him. I got all kind of pictures to go back and all this stuff. And here's me and my dad. I was 5 years old here. And my dad looked like Elvis. Because when I was little, I used to watch Elvis movies and thinking it was my father. Look. He looked a lot like him. Because I'd watch an Elvis movie and think, oh, there's Dad. No, I didn't know any better. Yeah, so that's Uncle Green Mancini. So yeah, I have a lot of my yeah, Lewis, he did. He had all the records. And did I ever have one? Not really. That I tell you what, Mike, that's real. That's I mean, obviously that took place early, but my Uncle Green and Aunt Collie during the Depression, they had his and hers Duesenbergs cars. Like I think they were like straight 12-cylinder or something like that. Yeah, he's some kind of relation somewhere, Holly. That was during the Depression. So my Uncle Green came over here, and they were in New York for I don't know how long. Then they moved here to Ohio for some reason. So I know he lived in Canton. My aunt, Uncle Green, Aunt Collie lived in Canton, and a girl I was dating at the time, there was a new Italian restaurant that opened up in Canton. This was like 1982, and yeah, I'd heard about it, and I didn't know nothing about reservations or anything like that. So her and I jumped in the car. We drove 2 hours, got there, and we couldn't get in. I mean, it was packed. There was a line, and it was nothing but reservations and everything. So I told her because my Uncle Green used to. He liked her. He liked her at the time. He would joke with her all the time. I said, "Let's go see Uncle Green." So we go over there. Unannounced, showed up. No cell phones. This was '82, and then he's like, "We, you want us to eat there?" And I said, "Well, we could because we would come up here to go to the restaurant." I don't even remember the name of it now. He's like, "Well, what happened?" I said, "We couldn't get in." He went over and made one phone call. Just go ahead and go back over. So I took her. Her name was Celeste. I took Celeste, and we went over there. Got in front of everybody. They gave us a special table. It was in a corner. They come by, played violin, everything. Then when it got time for the bill, I said, let me have the bill. And he's like, no, this is on us. I'm like, what? He goes, you tell your Uncle Green that is what you thought of us. So I was like, okay. And then it was interesting. It was fun. My dad, when my dad was little, he remembers going to stay with them for a couple weeks in the summers when he was a young kid. He said, and I know when we would leave, Uncle Green would leave to bring him back down here to my grandfather, his dad. He said we always had to stop at this old warehouse, and he always carried a briefcase upstairs, and he always come down without it. So, but yeah. Oh, Mad Hatter, thank you. And I will send you that trem thing, the trem blocker. And like I said, anybody in here wants the tools, just supply the filament, and I'll make it for them. And you pay to ship it. It was $5-6 to ship it to you. That's it. So. Be good, man. And Mike, I don't know. I didn't follow. Have you checked your tracking number on your shirt? I think it said yours and Laz's will be there the same day, but I don't remember what day it was. So I didn't mean to bore you with all that, but I make my own, Peggy. I usually that's my growing up with Italian grandmother and aunts. I was called Little Bastardo. I've been smacked with cast iron pans when I was growing up, skillets. Good night, Matt. But my grandmother, I learned how to cook from her because when I was little, like I said, Dad was always at work, and my mom had a beauty shop. Actually, in this room, she had a beauty shop in this room. So I would stay with them. And, I'm a little kid. Yep, Nona. 2 N's. Nonna. So yeah, and I would always be in the kitchen with my Nona. I say grandma most of the time because I say Nona and people just look at me like, huh? And I learned how to cook. So I make my own pasta. I make my own sauces. I make my own salsa also. And I would go there after school. Who, Holly? I don't have you blocked. But yeah, it was like, she let me experiment. I mean, I remember telling her I wanted to fry lettuce one time, and she let me do it. So, Billy Ray is a good friend of mine. He is a officer of the law over by Dane, actually, and he's bought 19 or 21 guitars from Dane. Yeah, he's here now. He left for a little bit, which means he probably had to pull somebody over. Yeah, I mean, I tried. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, she let me try whatever I wanted to try, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. So, but I learned how to. She never wrote her recipes down. So I mean, I remembered, the eggs, the bowl with the flour and bringing them in, all that stuff. And now what happens is her own kids that, my aunt, that my dad's sister, he's got one sister left, one died, and he's still got two brothers. But I'll get calls from them throughout the year. Hey, how did mom make this? And it's like, okay, so, and then if they have a big family gathering, guess who they call to make the food? Uh, Billy, you don't have Holly blocked, or I don't. He shouldn't. Off Mondays and Tuesdays. Cool. Okay, next Monday I'll send you the invite, Billy. So, yeah, it's just, you know, that's how it was. Peggy, you should be. I don't know if you should check or not. You'd be able to check or not. 'Cause I know you can block people, but I don't know if you can check if you don't. Okay, Billy doesn't have anybody blocked. I don't know. I don't know, Peggy, if you can get in there yourself and check. I'm not sure. I've been a moderator for Laz, but I've never had to do anything except approve a few messages every now and then. See, I can't do it on this computer because I'm not. I'm on this one. Holly Lewis Music. That's who it is, Billy. She's in the chat. Okay, I didn't know Holly how that with her being a mod, I didn't know if she would be able to know that or not. Mm. Wait a minute, I'll send you a photo, Billy. Maybe. Yeah, Billy's a good guy, Holly. He hangs out with Dane. He goes there all the time. Going there tomorrow, matter of fact. All right, I sent it, Billy. On Holly, I got your message the other day. Thank you for that information. Um, I got a call today from the store, and they're going to do their. They were calling me about the finish on. They're going to do their own custom guitars, and these are going to be high dollar things. It's like he was calling me today and was asking me about certain finishes. Um, had an idea, ran it by me, and I said, "Sure, we can do it." So he's looking for like February to start getting the parts and then making stuff. And these are going to be high dollar guitars, but they're going to be very good. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that. You two can't see each other, and neither one of you's got the other one blocked. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, technology. Go figure. I mean, I didn't get the Helix till a year and a half ago. Although I did learn how to use the Roadcaster pretty nice. I like that. Holly, did you hang your headphone holder up yet? Billy Ray Holly says, "Hey, you told me earlier, in here or in the email." I just got a text from someone who's not in the chat but is watching the show. They asked me, we know them, and they asked me to play One Night Eternal again, but I can do it through the Roadcaster so it'll sound better. You guys mind if I do that? It's funny, out of all of them, Jack the Ripper, One Night Eternal are like the two most popular. Can you guys hear that?
Midnight whispers on tangled sheets. Moonlight dances on a silhouette so sweet. Her perfume lingers like a stolen rhyme. A fleeting touch that defies time.
I'll show you.
She moves like smoke through my fingertips. Every glance a promise on her parted lips. No names exchanged in the candle's glow. Just two shadows melting slow. Then the dawn comes creeping in, turning magic back to sin. Her dress slides on like midnight sun.
Holly, this is,
Just the same.
he's on the end. The guy singing is on the end in the black jacket with the blonde hair. Looks like Sebastian Bach. Over here.
A ghost in the chains of morning rain. Every street light, every passing train. I'll chase your shadow through the pain. Now the city's full of echoes and lies.
This is true.
Every dark-haired girl catches my eyes. Beggars in jeans all look the same. When you're drowning,
Yeah, he showed me that he doesn't have anybody blocked.
footsteps fade on the avenue, but none of them ever sound like you. The bartender pours another wound while the jukebox plays a forgotten tune. Oh, one night eternal in
Well, I can't answer that, Billy. At least not on here. Oh, wait a minute. He's about 8 hours from me. So, anybody want to hear some other ones? Actually, I have some more that I have not played for people. Now, Mr. Mike. Oh, you want to hear Jack the Ripper? All right. Mr. Mike has heard almost all these. But I had to, my producer, I had to do that. Hold on, let me see if this will work this way. Can you hear that? You don't hear the music? Oh, wait a minute. How about now? You hear it now? All right, hold on. So I have to do it this way. Can you hear it?
Where the air hangs heavy with deceit, there walks a figure, a specter of the night, Jack the Ripper, with a thirst for blight.
It's funny. All right, good night, Holly. '80s echo, reverb.
In the heart of London, you wield your knife, a grim
Laz told me I should have did that heavier part right there sooner in the song and more often. All right, hold on.
The city whispers tales of horror and woe.
There. Sorry about that. Good night, Lewis.
Shadows in vain as Jack the Ripper eludes every chain. A ghastly legend, a nightmare's birth, spreading terror throughout the earth.
Yeah, that it was just, yeah, that's. And Laz, for some reason, he said he thought I should have did it sooner in the song and more often, but I wanted it for that part. That's why I put it there. I didn't even think about putting it anywhere else.
Etched in blood and fear, a dark spectre that will never disappear. So lock your doors and close your eyesight, for Jack the Ripper roams the night. In the shadows he waits, his hunger unbound. A nightmare haunting London's ground.
No, it was just a little add-on. Peggy, Billy, you may not have heard this one. The whole, I think Mike's the only one I played this for. The whole serial killer thing gets me because I can't understand how someone can do that to somebody and then, like, get away with it. And this next one is, anybody ever heard of H.H. Holmes, America's first serial killer, who built the, quote, murder castle in Chicago in time for the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. So I did this song. I mean, I've watched countless hours of YouTube on all these guys because it just amazes me, like Jack, how Jack got away with it, doing it in the middle of the day or in the middle of the streets outside, except for Mary Jane Kelly. So I did a song called, because I was watching a YouTube thing and they're like, he had the blueprints showing them, and that he would hire people to come build it and then fire them, wouldn't pay them, and hire other groups. So nobody knew what was going where, but it had all kinds of secret rooms, the hallways, the gas pipes to knock you out, the chutes, body chutes, all that stuff. So the song I did is called The Devil's Blueprint. So this is it. And this one's heavy. So you're hearing it first. And the heavy part is that Chapman baritone guitar. I need an Evertune on a guitar.
In the shadows of Chicago streets, a castle built with wicked deeds. The walls could whisper tales so grim of hollow eyes and voices still. The devil's blueprint in his hand, a twisted mind, a deadly plan. Lies like poison, cold as steel. Heaven wept for those who kneel. The devil's blueprint in his hand, a twisted mind, a deadly plan. No remorse, no light to save, just a shovel and a shallow grave.
Laz hasn't heard this yet. He'll tell me I need to do that more.
The gas pipes hum a lullaby for souls who came but never left alive. A smile so sharp, a heart so black. The clock ticks on, no turning back. In shadows cast, where echoes take flight, his whispers low, where secrets ignite. In dreams we find, where truths unwind, paths untrod, where mysteries unfold. Shadows deep, where legends breathe. In silence fast, where life doesn't last.
See, this was meant to sound confusing. Like to throw you off.
The devil's blueprint in his hand, a twisted mind, a deadly plan. Lie like poison, cold as steel. Heaven wept for those who kneel. Earth shook with the wicked's call. Fire dance if the dance bleed. Water cursed by sinners' tears. Air whispered with villain's breath. His victims came to a certain death. Oh.
All right. So that's all the music for tonight. See, Mike, I didn't know about that. I can't get strike for not even being monetized. I don't know how none of that works. Yeah, Peggy, there's all kind of there's all kind of videos on H. Holmes and Jack the Ripper. It's just amazing. It just, and it was funny because I had sent Laz Jack the Ripper, you know, and where he's had some psychiatry training. He's like, oh man, the song's killer, but I'm more interested in why you wrote a song about Jack the Ripper. So I had to explain. I've just always been fascinated by stuff like that because I I can't understand how someone can do that to somebody, for one, and then and like, you know, him out on the streets or in the alleys and getting away with it. I just, that just blows my mind, and I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. But the older ones, not the like the what is it, Night Stalker or Richard Ramirez, all that stuff. That stuff, that the Zodiac Killer. I mean, I know about them, but that's more modern. I'm more interested in the older stuff. So anyhow, all right. Anybody? Oh, just for flair? Yeah, no. It was just that in that Jack the Ripper. That's just it's just it was just a change for that section. Then I did it again towards the end, and Laz is like, oh, I like that a lot. You should do it more, and have done it sooner in the song. And I'm sitting here after I get, you know, after I think he called me. So after we got off the phone, I'm sitting there thinking, and I grabbed the guitar and I started playing, you know, played the music and playing with it, and I'm starting adding it different places. I thought, just don't fit. It's not, you know, but it's weird to see all this stuff come true now. It's like I'm writing better music now at 60 than I did at 20. So, although there are two songs actually we're going to redo from 19 late 80s, 89, 90, somewhere in there. So we're going to redo those, more modern sounding, because the one, Laz has heard him before. He said the one sounds like Metallica, and even Gemini had said that we sound like Metallica, Black Sabbath, Alice Cooper, or something like that. But I would like to make it more heavier now with this style, than it was when we did it. So I'm trying to get the drummer who we had in the band at the time to re-record those heavier, but he obviously is married, and he actually works for Xfinity, and he does his own band thing where he actually is like a one-man show. And I've talked to him, and it's like just trying to nail him down to do it time-wise. So if not, I'll have to get someone else, because I don't think I could do that. Well, maybe I can. Here's the drum pad thing that I did a lot, Dad Jack the Ripper with. So yeah, with that, we're coming up on what, 20 minutes to be 3 hours. So I want to thank you guys for everything, for watching and hanging out. And again, if anybody has any extra parts they want to send in, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I know I can't tell you who they are because I don't know yet, but I can tell you there's going to be a lot of people that would be appreciative of it too. So there's nothing like seeing their smile, man. That's great. You hand them the guitar, and it's not only is it working, but it's working right. It's set up right, and there's no issues. They just love it. The smile's worth it. I'd rather have the smile than cash. So thank you, everybody. Billy, do me a favor when you're with Dane tomorrow. Play Jack the Ripper for me, if you would, please. And send me a couple photos of all the Jacksons he has. Because until I get a mirrored one, I'm still getting other ones. So with that, good night, everybody. I'll talk to you hopefully tomorrow on Johnny's show. So good night. Thank you, everybody. Mike, I'll get back with you on the other idea. Sounds great. I ran it by my wife today. She loved it. So I think that's going to be a go. And then, I'm going to start looking at other repair people on YouTube and getting a hold of them and say, hey, how about coming on the show, from your house or your shop, and let's show us how you're doing this. So that kind of stuff. So thank you, everybody, and good night.